What's going on, people? Welcome back to United View. Welcome to episode 39 of the Trinity podcast. Bang on cue, just like Ruben's arrival, fam. Just like Ruben's arrival. Oh my goodness, we are 100% in the. Oh, listen, I'm so excited. I'm sure you lot are excited. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to United View if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to KT Da Comedian if you haven't done so already.
Classical winner, by the way.
I came in at halftime when you lot were going, just make runs, just keep calm, just make runs. Everybody just make runs.
Classical winner.
Shout out El Clasico yesterday. If you know, you know. If you managed to see it, big up to you. If you didn't, make sure you check it out. Like I said, I put my head in there at halftime and it was pandemonium. The level of tactical insight of what they should do was just keep calm, fam, keep calm, and make sure you shoot. And listen, just make runs. I was like, these are in chaos.
It was real.
KG's utilizing his, what was it, level 1 coaching badges that you've got? Is it one of those? The level 1. Make runs, shoot, score, don't concede, guys.
And make sure you pass.
Yeah. Bro, I know it's so dumb anyway, but let's talk anyway. But it's too funny, man. Make sure you sign up. Hey, wait, Owen, let us know, bro. What's going on in wrestling? Hold on, what's going on? How we looking subscriber base as well? Tell us.
Yep.
Yeah, man,
We're on the road to 20k. It's a busy time of the year. Well, it's a strange time of the year when it comes in the world of wrestling. Sometimes things slow down, but you got Survivor Series on the horizon. Survivor Series on the horizon, and then in Survivor Series, you got
War Games
on there. Yes.
All right.
William Regal, press it again, Owen.
War Games.
That's what he does.
William Regal with the wicked pop music when it comes out.
Bro, I used to love that move.
And the brass knucks.
Yeah, brass knuckles. Yeah, he used to take him out his pants in it and lick it up.
He had like 3 of them. How much room's he got in there? You know what I mean?
Ridiculous. So ridiculous.
Hold on. We have to put our boys' feet to the fire. He told us he's going to start his channel. He said he's going to start it. I don't know if he's waiting for the new computer.
Yeah, Flex. Well, it's just it's been a bit. I said that today on the morning show. I said that in the morning show. Yeah, it was America. We was in Inglewood. Yep. But I
KG's just working out the maths involved in the time frame of that. He's just
hold on, wait a minute, Flex.
Yeah,
Flex.
It was in August. Yeah.
Rocky said your name as well. Play that again, bro. Hold on.
Yeah. I've got one specifically for him.
Hold on, wait a minute, Flex.
Bro, you're taking the piss. You told me that you was getting. Are you serious? We said that pre-season. Your channel hasn't started yet.
Yeah, no, it hasn't started
yet. Man. You're taking the piss.
I know. I've had to handle a lot of pies. I've been very, very busy. I have needed a new machine as well. The M4 Fizzy is on the way. And then we can go from there. But I have been so busy. And it's not right to start something when it ain't gonna. You can't do it, so that's cool. You got to be ready.
You got to be ready. The main thing was getting optimized, isn't it?
Getting optimized. And speaking of that, which is exactly what I needed, is exactly the segue that I needed. This video is brought to you by Oxford Natural, and remember, you can get optimized. And here's how. This video is brought to you by Oxford Natural and the Optimum Day and Night capsules. This is the perfect way to take charge of your weight loss journey through Optimum. Scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the video description below to start your journey now. Look at the difference. I mean, just look at KG. The proof's in the pudding. And there you have it. It's that easy, man. Scan the QR code on screen or the link is in the video description below. And as you can see from the video, we had a lot of fun at the clinic. And just, I mean, look at this guy. I mean, this guy too. This one next to me is.
Let's talk about.
He's optimized.
There's 2 here. And honestly, I mean, I'm not part of the Optimum journey, but I did legitimately utilize Optimum on the journey, and I can guarantee you, it works for me anyway. Yeah. Particularly at the start of the journey, the bit about the cravings. I'm a craver. Guys, I am a craver, and that's always the thing that lets me down, and that really helped with that. And then once you've kind of got those cravings out your system, then you're refreshed. You can take on all challenges, And I saw on Monday, I think it was, with the red carpet, loads of people coming in going, KG, they're not calling him KG anymore. They're calling him LB. You know what I mean?
LB is
oh my God.
That's what they're calling him.
LB's crazy. And listen, as you stand here today, or should I say sit here today, and we just saw in that video there, you see some of the before and afters. For me, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. How good you looked for your birthday, yeah,
rested, bro.
was just like optimization,
yeah,
like epitomized. Like
yeah,
if there was the final, like not weighing,
yeah.
but the final picture of the optimization on the journey that you've been through with Oxford Natural and Optimum, it's that. It's pulling in with the glasses for no reason, even though it's dark. Yeah.
What do you call it? The Morpheus Force, bro.
KG made us all wear black so he could wear something light. This was an all black party. He was in brown. He was in nude, bro. He was in cream. Yeah, so he could stand out. Morpheus glasses. Yeah, Morpheus Neos.
Morpheus.
Yeah, yeah. And he was fully optimized.
Yeah.
There should have been Getty images in there.
Do you know my wife started? She just started. She's on it
as well. There you go.
You know, she's locked in, bro. My wife said, "You're not gonna do this by yourself." So anyway,
yeah, the glow up was too much. Glow up was too much. So no, like I said, guys, as you can see there on screen, link is in the video description below, and the QR code is on screen. Get your Natural Optimum product right now. You guys have seen a journey. The journey is continuing. It's a way of life. It's not just a crash course. And shout out Dr. Andre, because a lot of you guys really enjoyed the video we did with Dr. Andre regarding injuries. We're proud to say that we're going to be speaking to Dr. Andre once a month as well for a regular check-in. Especially now is a good time because we've got players coming back. Talk about Melassia's journey. Look, you know what I mean? Yep, Yoro. Talk about Melassia's journey. He's been doing interviews with The Athletic about how the journey that he's been on, the psychological problems that he had, challenges that he faced. And it'd be great to talk to Dr. Andre. Now, this guy's had two knee ops. It'd be great to find out about that. You look at Lenny Yoro coming back from his foot injury as well. So Luke Shaw's coming back, this, that, and the other. So as Jim Ratcliffe says, and don't do your hamstring, Luke. We'll be speaking to Dr. Andre once a month for the injury check-ins as well. So a lot going on still with Oxford Natural, but most of all, make sure you get your Optimum. Guys, in around about 45 minutes time-ish, well, at 7 o'clock anyway. At 7 o'clock, you're going to get the full release from Ruben Amorim's reveal at Old Trafford. We've seen the stuff that happened yesterday when he just pulled up on the stadium tour, surprised the fans. You know what I mean? It was wicked. That is what you want to see. We've seen a few little quotes and stuff like that. Oh, we got a couple from earlier. I mean, what's a couple of the little one-liners? A couple of
the snippets, if you will, are about Old Trafford. He's standing out, looking around the stadium. Of course, he's actually been there. To be fair, he did play there once as a player for Braga. But he was asked about Old Trafford. He said, "You watch it on TV, and you know that it's big, it's impressive. When you are here, you can feel it. I think you feel the history. I'm really, really proud to be Manchester United coach. So it's amazing. It's a real honour to be here." He also then was asked about sort of the weight of the place and the pressure that it brings. He said, "That's really funny because I feel very relaxed. Maybe it's because it's not game day. When we have a game, I'm a completely different guy. But I really don't feel the weight. I'm really excited and I'm quite relaxed, I think this is the key one. I think I am where I'm supposed to be." Is what he says. He's exactly
guys, chill,
where he needs to be.
Guys, can I just
chill?
I know.
Have you seen?
He said he wants to change his distance. I saw him this morning. He's turning into Fashion View. Every time I think I've seen Flex over the last couple of days, it's been not so much about tactics, 3 at the back, inside tents or whatever. I've seen trainers, I've seen hoodies, I've seen zip-ups, I've seen puffer jackets, I've seen watches. Prada. I mean, this guy, honestly, is turning into Fashion View. Do you know what's so funny about Flex? Is he makes me laugh because literally, I watched the show this morning and he goes, "I'm not gonna lie, man. I gotta start stepping up for the presses." wait. Bro, no one else.
Shit, you saw that. Why wasn't you at work, man? Stop watching, man.
I was on my way to work. That's my listen.
Go to work, man. Stop watching.
You always kill me for that, but it's my thing, innit? I watch the shows in the morning. It's part of my life. Yeah. Kind of disappointed I didn't see both of you on the show this morning, but hey, it is what it is.
Thanks. I told
like
you, there's been rumors. I've got the Roman Reigns contract. Yeah, limited dates.
Mate. you can't overdo it.
Limited dates.
Yeah. You know, when the fighter's gone into the, he's done his stuff for the company. So now he shows up for WrestleMania. The WrestleMania push.
WrestleMania build. That's what I got.
And he must win.
Exactly. I'm going over, brother. Yeah.
No, but I did say that. KG. I did. I just feel.
Do you think every journalist is going to do that? By the way, are you thinking Neil Custer is going to be wearing Hugo Boss?
No, Neil Custer's putting up Hugo Boss. I think with the stairs is hilarious to me.
Maybe some of them might. Laurie Whitwell's got it in him. You know what I mean? Jamie Jackson's just obviously going to have his wicked shirt still. He won't care.
Glasses.
But no, I have got gassed. I have. But it comes with it comes with me being true to my word. I did say the moments that there are to enjoy. Like KG was saying, we've got a new manager. It's a new door. Yes. We don't have to stay where we was before going, head coach. We don't have to stay just going, yeah, he's here, but no, you can enjoy the moments. Enjoy this. We ain't kicked a ball yet, so right now, just give the guy the welcome. Let him, not that he can see us, but he needs to know that we're feeling him. He needs to know that we're all behind him. So I'm happy with that, and I'm still very much with the playing squad. I will still be patient with that, but the little bits I can get gassed about in isolation, like the Garms and the Crepes and that, I'm just going to do it because it's just what I like doing. It makes me feel happy.
I'm desperate for him to speak to us, though, and get a vibe of what his intentions at the club are in when you talk about, is he going to play? Ten Hag kind of let us know early. Ten Hag spoke about eras coming to an end. And it does feel, it's so weird because Ten Hag's words here, while he might not be the man to see it out, you're looking at bloody Man City and you're like, is that the end of that era? We're talking about taking them to court. We've got a new manager. It feels like there's a shift.
Head coach.
In the...
Owen's going to be that guy. And you know what? And I just really hope, yeah.
But KG laughed. I literally did it a minute ago. And KG laughed. And
I know. But I really wish, you probably won't, because I reckon you were that kid in school that was just, the perfection levels were up there. I just can't wait for you to say manager.
When he slips.
Say it to you.
When he slips.
But I don't think he will.
That happened once on a match view. There was one letter wrong, and KG was like, "Oh, that's a bit bad, that one." And I was like, "What?" And he went, "It's you, don't it?" So I was like,
"Yeah, you set like a crazy high standard, bro."
If you can get Owen, you have to get him because you can't get him.
For him,
you can't get him.
For him.
Very, very rare.
Any grammar or anything, or just saying something wrong, pronunciation, we're on him.
Painting a very nice picture of me.
Back to it though, man. When we talk about the when we talk about errors and that, though, do you not feel that this could be the beginning and the starting of something new, starting of something exciting? Do you especially if he just
it's the start of something new, isn't it? It's the start of something new, definitely. And like you said, he's going to change the formation. You know what? A bit of a learning experience, I suppose, from Erik ten Hag. And because you could look at it two ways, couldn't you? You could look at it one way where you say, look, in your first press conference, don't really say any sort of crazy shit, because then if it goes bad, you protected yourself. Or the other way is that you can say what you want. It's like, if you back it up, it doesn't matter. I remember at the beginning of the season looking at Liverpool with Arne Slot. You remember there was a picture of him, they were doing their media day, and he's standing sideways like that. Yes. And everyone's like, I tell you now, when they lose, that's going to be coming out. They've barely lost, so it doesn't come out.
If anything, it gets used the reverse.
Look at this guy. He's top of the table. So it's the same with.
People are just waiting for that day. That's the one that's saved in drafts.
Probably use it against Forest.
Yep. But again, the point is that if you win all the time, they can't use it, can they? And it's the Ten Hag thing, isn't it? Era's coming to an end. Everyone's like, well, when it fails, if you lose, I'm going to use it against you. So the best way, there's two options. You either don't say it, or you don't really lose all that much. And if he comes in and says some big stuff, which I don't think he really will, he doesn't strike me as that kind of character. Like he said, he's a very, very calm, shrewd guy. From what we've seen thus far with his last sort of sporting presses that everyone was paying attention to, doesn't really get rattled all that much, And that was a very stressful and awkward situation of being the manager or head coach of of two clubs at the same time. Was he the head coach of Sporting? Actually, that's a good point.
I don't know.
I don't know. But he was technically in two jobs at one, and everyone knew he was ending. And he had big games coming up, and he handled it really, really well. You know, even to the point of Gary Koch will go and speak in English. No thanks, I'm going to speak in Portuguese. Fine. And then he's joking and laughing with them after the game after he's beat Man City 4-1. Not bad, is it? That's how you handle it. So I don't think you'll be crazy with some of the stuff that he says. And like you said, KJ, I am excited though, because it does feel very fresh, not in just the sense of it's a new person at the helm, but also it is going to be a change in formation. It's also a change in the hierarchy at Manchester United, because it's like the final piece of the Ineos puzzle in terms of CEO, sporting director, technical director, him. And now we go to see if all of these changes that Ineos have done, how quickly they bear fruit, or if there's going to be a bit more of the going to have to kind of sort of wait this one out a little bit, you know, that kind of thing. We'll see.
I like something that happened the other day. I watched a Bruno Fernandes interview, and it's literally, I think it's when he's talking about 250 games and stuff, and they mentioned Amorim, right? And he says one of the major things that he thought was big with this manager is the fact that even though he's leaving, the players are trying to fight for him. He said that the players he says his connection with his players is something that we've looked and said, like, we have to replicate that. We have to replicate. Like, they must be disappointed that he's leaving in mid-season. They can all understand how massive it is that he's walking away from us when there's still a lot to be done. But yet they're running through the wall to try and win for him and lift him into the air. So it just goes to show how connected he is with his team. And I think they're looking at that like, okay, guys, we might have one. The Kobe Mainu embrace. I know it's like we're just taking things from these little pictures and stuff, but Kobe looks excited. Delo sounds excited. They all seem like ready to want to work for this guy. That's making me feel good. That's me. And hopefully they actually play it through, and it's not going to be.
Credit to Ineos, by the way, as well, because the more you think about it, you mentioned that doesn't get probably talked about enough, that he's leaving Sporting mid-season, top of the league when they haven't lost a game. You know what I mean?
Or never vibe.
Literally, yeah, because we saw with Erik ten Hag, granted, it was much closer to the end of the season. It was around April time, wasn't it? And it was like, okay, he's going to see out the rest of the season with Ajax, win the Eredivisie, then come to United. But I'm sure there'll probably be a feeling at Sporting like, we might not win the league this year now, and we're like smashing it, you know, because you never know what could happen.
Wheels could fall off.
And exactly, Manchester United, and we forget this a bit, don't we? Because we've been in the mud for a while, and we know it's this weird thing, isn't it? As a United fan, we know how big the club is, but also because we've been in the mud a while, we're like, how much of the pool is actually still kind of there, because you can only trade on it for so long. But we saw it in the summer with like Lenny Ora of going, Man United are interested. Still does have a bit of weight, actually, doesn't it? And or Ruben
we all
Amorim.
laughed. We all said Real Madrid are there, no chance.
Exactly. And Ruben Amorim now going, job's open now or never. Well, I've won every single game this season with Sporting. I'm going to probably win the league again. And I said I was going to leave in the summer. Yeah, but it's open now. And the offer's only now. All right, I'm coming. Fair play.
You know what, Flex, I want to probably get what you think on this, though, because they always talk about that thing about operating like a big club. Can we officially say that Man United in this lead up, or how they managed this, they've actually operated like a big club trying to get the best in class? What do you think?
I think there's some elements yes, some elements no. And the reason why I say that is because I know we've kind of disagreed on this particular bit of it, but I still think the operating like a big club, if you're trying to be as ruthless with that terminology as possible, you could say the big club, in the summer when they clearly wanted to change the manager, they just do it. They get him then. They don't give 200 mil to Eric when it was shaky ground. They don't stay with that. They don't sit through the first international break where it went wrong, then wait until now. That's just me nitpicking, because you asked me the question. I'm still happy with where we're at. But if you're being hypercritical, you could say, well, that was their first L. As a big club, you came in, you've made all these cuts, which you've got to do, but then now you've ended up having to make the biggest cut there is, and now you have to pay him 17 million when you could have done that in the summer. That's the first L. But in terms of going to get the guy you want to get, getting someone who everyone's talking about, getting someone who fits the bill, getting someone who's going to change us complete contrast to like what we just had, and going and get him now and saying, listen, there's no end of the season. There's no, we're going to go on to target 2 or target 3 or target 4. We're going to get Ruben Amorim and we're coming back with him. Absolutely, they did.
But then I'll ask, listen, Owen, this one's for you, to be honest, because there is this conspiracy getting around that Ruben was always the guy that they were really going for. And when you look at the signings and what we tried to do in the summer, we signed Lenny Euro and was like, remember one was getting centre back heavy and it wasn't making sense. We was like, signed Lenny Euro, but we still wanted Branthwaite, but we wanted to lit. So it's like, wait, are you already planning? Then we bring in Ugarte. Ugarte didn't really look like, I don't know if he felt like Ten Hag's
signing. Yeah, it didn't.
He didn't really feel like Ten Hag's guy. And then you're like, well, the business that we're trying to build up in these areas, and then we were all crying left back, get a left back. And it's like, nah.
But that's what happens.
Davis, Alfonso. So you're like, wait a minute, because we've heard the Alfonso links from a while back. Are you with me? So you're like, wait, have we been pushing for this manager? Or we know that one day it's going to come to an end? And
I don't think so. I think that's just what happens. We have to get used to this as United fans now. That's what happens when you've got not a manager that's heavily involved in recruitment, and you've actually got sporting directors that is kind of the overarching thing. Because we were talking about this, and players will get somewhat of a fresh start. I get it, but there is continuity there now, isn't there? Where maybe there wasn't. Every time you get a new manager in or a new head coach in, right, it's starting afresh, and then they're working with the football directors. Siren's in the chat. Siren's in the chat. About who they're going to bring, and that's not really the case now. Like Ineos's transfer plans, or Man United's transfer plans, will largely be the same as what they were previously, because it's the same people in charge of those plans, right? So I don't know if I subscribe to that. I do think that I hope it's kind of taught them a bit of a lesson, actually, Ineos, to maybe be slightly more ruthless in their decision making, because they could have made that call in the summer. And to Flex's point, maybe in retrospect, it's easy to say with hindsight, isn't it? Actually, maybe they should have, and maybe they did get a bit cold feet because they went, been a lot of change here. Remember that point, Omar Barada, Dan Ashworth went officially through the door, and they thought, maybe some of the options aren't really there that we want to get. We'll leave it. And the biggest feeling of we'll leave it came from, we're going to extend Erik ten Hag's contract. We're not going to give him a new one.
We all said that, didn't we?
We're going to extend it. And he's a manager, even though we're looking for a head coach kind of thing. That kind of felt like kind of kicking the can down the road a little bit to this time next year, and then kind of reevaluating things when Ruben Amorim would have been available. And
when Ruud came in as well, we all said, Ruud's got the shades of, if this thing goes shit, he can be in.
I mean, I know
everyone said it.
I know he says like, oh, Eric called me and Eric's high. Maybe he was, but that for me, that's always felt odd. Even this is why I said like he could never go back to being Ruben Amorim's assistant, or whatever, because it's too big. Like you were there on pre-season, like all the guys are walking out. Everyone's shouting Ruud. Everyone's looking at Ruud van Nistelrooy. He feels wrong being. You talk about the fashion view. He felt wrong being in the tracksuit. As soon as he put on the turtleneck and the jacket, you went, "That's a bit better, Ruud. That feels a bit more normal, doesn't it?" You know what I mean?
When he was in the tracksuits and that, doing up the thing on Twitter, it was weird. Like everyone was just like, "No, but that's Ruud van Nistelrooy."
Ruud putting out the cones. You'd be like, no, it doesn't really fly.
That's probably Ruben Amorim's best, like his best decision so far. Coming in and saying, okay, that guy's has to go. Like Ruud, just imagine every time Old Trafford, it's Ruud's house, no matter what. So in the games, you'll just hear the whole crowd hit the Ruud. And can you imagine you're the new guy and your number 2 is love like that. He's in front of the Stretford end doing this, and is like, you can't have that guy around. What the hell?
And Ruud was doing that when Eric was there too. Remember, like after like West Ham games, Ruud's going up to the fans, giving it all that. And you're going like, you're the assistant.
He can't just walk past them. He can't just walk past them and not acknowledge that love, that power come from the Stretford end or away end or whatever. It's too powerful. But guess what? I know what the United fans are like. You know what the singing section is like, KG. We all know what the Red Army's saying. Listen, when Ruben pulls up, they're going to be going, Ruben. I could just feel it. I could just feel it. I had KG. You said you watched the show this morning. Oh, and I'm not sure how much of the show you did catch today, if any. But I had a little bit of a difficult time at one stage, because basically, you know that saying, Owen? No technology. I was actually boasting about my technology just on the way, saying how I'm going to be untouchable. That's what I was doing.
Cool.
That was about the middle of the show. I was unbearable. Like the cheek of how talking like someone like me who can't even open tabs to how I was talking on that thing. Like I was chucking it. Like M4 fizzy. I'm saying I'm the most powerful man. M4 chip coming, 10 core. I've been doing a madness, but that's not what I was going to talk about.
Okay.
I had a difficult time because it was brought up by a journalist. KJ, I know you covered this on your channel this morning as well. So I saw some of your thoughts on it, but Owen hasn't had the chance to have his say, right? Just basically they were saying about a guy from Give Me Sport, not the best of
I did see this.
Yeah, it's not the best of quotes, but it just opened up the conversation, right? And I was just saying, I thought I was making it so clear that my decision as FLEX, is I don't think Rashford should get that, this, that, and the other. But Ruben, the new manager, which isn't me, that's a different man, I feel like he'll see it differently. And I was going on.
You want to play Rashford's a big part.
There you go. And this is how you can tell where it went. Yeah, you can tell where this went. So I literally had to pause the whole show and do Jurgen Fleck basically and talk really slowly, spell my name out to separate myself from Ruben. But anyway, my point is, Owen, you haven't had to speak about this.
Sound kind of rattled about Flex.
No, just bringing it up. Just want your opinion. That's what
you're saying.
Just making you inclusive of the show. Don't you feel left out?
Thanks.
That's all right.
Thanks.
Do you? Where are you, Owen, on the window of opportunity, the door that's left ajar, not just for Rashford, but for like everything? Because it's a new manager, so it's like anything can happen. It's fair game because you don't know. Where are you with that?
I said that on Monday on the red carpet. Like my thing is with Rashford. If we sold him in the summer, totally fine. I'm not doing the whole a new manager comes in. Can he get the best out of Marcus Rashford conversation? Because I feel like we do this with certain players. We did it with Pogba for years. You know what I mean? Who's going to want to unlock Paul Pogba? It's kind of the same now. Who's going to get the best out of Marcus Rashford? Even when Ten Hag was like his last 2 seasons, it was can he get Rashford back to what he did in his first season? Do you think between now and the end of the season? I don't think so.
No. There's a space for him in the team.
Oh, I thought you said to get him back.
No, nothing like that.
He'll play.
Everyone's saying he's going to be on the bench. He's not going to fit, and I'm saying no. I guarantee he'll be starting a lot of games with this manager.
Of course he'll play.
People are like, no, you just want Rashford. So what do you think?
It's like the Casemiro thing, isn't it? We were saying the other day where in the summer they'll probably try and sell Casemiro again. He's the highest earner at the club and he's over 30. And even though he's doing well at the moment, and he might have a great rest of the season, he's done all right thus far outside the Liverpool game. And I'm like, Casemiro is really important. But come the summer, Ineos will try and move him on because he's too expensive and he's not really value for money. But whilst you've got him, he's an asset. You try and get the most out of what you've got. It'll be the same with Marcus Rashford. You've got him. He's under contract. Was it 300k a week? Is one of the most marquee names in it. They'll try and get Ruben Amorim will try and get the most out of him. Ironically enough, like I was talking about earlier on, now it's not Ruben Amorim's decision about whether or not he what really the future is of Rashford. Ineos hopefully would have made that decision a while ago. Going, actually, you know what? Don't think it's working.
Where do you think what position out of all the positions that are available to him, which would essentially be left wing back, inside 10, or striker under Ruben Amorim, which position do you think that Rashford suits best?
He'll probably. I think he'll end up. I don't think he'll play in the 9. I know people have been saying that, but I don't think he'll play in the 9. I think he'll play as one of the inside 10s. You know, we saw that positional map the other week where the 2 inside 10s. One's very, very close to the striker centrally. That'll probably be Bruno. And one drifts. And that would be what Rashford does. He'll drift. Because sometimes I think with formations, people get quite bogged down on like how they are on the screen. And that's exactly where they're going to be. People move all over the pitch, don't they? You know, so with Rashford, it'll be the same. He'll probably drift out wide left, but he'll probably start as one of those inside 10s. And then my hope is not necessarily where he plays. My hope is that if he is as inconsistent as he has been for the last 18 months or so, then Ruben Amorim has the balls to drop him and just go, actually, you know what? All right, then I'm going with Ahmad and Bruno, or I'm going with Ahmad and someone else, you know, or Ahmad Ghana, whoever it may be. I just hope he continues that on, because one of the things that really did hurt Erik ten Hag was his effort to get Marcus Rashford back to the point where it became silly, that he became undroppable. And ironically enough, towards the end of his tenure, it became almost a bit of an afterthought because he came off and nobody cared by that point. They were like, oh, well, it's kind of done. So that's what I'd be looking for Ruben Amorim, is that If Rashford doesn't deliver, then he gets taken off. And that would be the same for everyone, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
Same with Bruno, same with whoever.
KG, what do you think about like the door being ajar for any players? Because this is a new manager, so the clean slates are there. Even for the uncomfortable ones, like the Rashford, the Luke Shaw, like everything. Let's just Mason Mount, all of it. Yeah. Where do you stand on that? Because it is a new manager.
I can't believe that's happened.
Every single. Well, no, but we can believe that's happened because it happens every stream.
Happens every single
Happens every stream. It's not an anomaly. We've seen that.
I can't believe that happened.
The thing that happens all the time, I can't believe it just happened. That's a crazy scout. There you go. There you go. I can't believe that just happened. Happens every stream, mate.
Prick as well, bro. Anyway.
No, then you blame the person. Don't blame the person.
No, because they know my life. They know my life. I've told my
you know your life. Keep your thing on silent when you're working.
People, I start our usual pod time is now. Yeah, you calling at this time is ridiculous, but it's fine. We move. Yeah,
Salah's no accountability there from yourself to put the thing on silent.
I can't believe this happened.
You know that I do this show.
But you know you do it. You know.
Yeah.
I forget to do the turn it to silent when I come back in.
But it's your fault. Imagine going into an exam with your phone on, and you go, can't believe they're calling me. I'm in an exam. They go, turn your phone off.
You know me. You know what I do. So stop calling me this time.
The shift and lack of accountability there, Flex, is actually quite staggering, isn't it? I mean, he's gone, I can't believe this. And two, it's someone else's fault for calling him.
Crazy.
They should know his schedule inside out.
You know what? Like, I don't call my missus when she's at work. She's working. She's in meetings. Yeah, I don't want to be that person to call her, brother. You know my shit.
Her. You blame
not my missus. No one missus. But it's someone that knows. It's someone that knows my schedule that shouldn't be doing.
So what will you do? Just quickly before you carry on with your point, will your action be to reaffirm that point with the person who rings? Will you ring them back and say, "Listen, you called me earlier. Stop doing that," or will you go, "I need to remember to flip that button"?
Now I'm going to say, "This is what we need to do now. Stop calling me. I'll call you."
That's ridiculous. So they can't be your proper friend. It's a one-way street. You can't. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Look, anyway, it's fine.
And the biggest as well, you can tell by the look, is like he's genuinely stressed by this now and annoyed. He gets bothered. Whenever anyone calls, he gets genuinely bothered.
You know what to do. Like, you know what to do. I've told you. Like, stop it. Like, anyway, let's go.
What a burden it is. People trying to contact him and talk to him. You know what I mean? Terrible.
It's trying to be your mate. Crazy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, over to you, bro. The floor's yours.
You were saying before you were not rudely interrupted.
And you know what the killer is, yeah? Can I just say this while we're here? I promise you that person is just calling about waffle as well. It's not even going to be good. It's not even
and you know what's outrageous? You would even say that, KG, because the phone calls I get from you, yeah, that is outrageous. That is outrageous.
No, you know what? I'm calling you to waffle. I'm calling, but then I know that's a waffle type phone call. Anyway, let's get back to it. That's pissing me off. Anyway, we're back in the room.
Told you.
I was going to talk about
how the door. Yeah.
Casualties. Yeah, there's going to be some serious casualties in this game style, and I'm worried because there's a casualty that I really don't want it to be. That it could potentially.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's. I look at Kobe's one of my.
I knew he was going to say that. Why do you think that?
Kobe's someone that scares me because obviously he talks about the intensity. If he moves Kobe into the 10, yeah? If he moves Kobe into the 10, then we're going to be fine, right? Kobe's sitting next to Agate in that getting out wide, supporting, helping out. Those two players, the two pivot guys are key, right? But they need to be kind of quick and they need to play with a... Kobe can't get across the field.
Is Kobe as quick as Casemiro?
What?
Everyone's saying Casemiro should start with Ugarte, like, because that's like, oh yeah, you know, this, that, and the other. Is Casemiro fast? Is he faster than?
No, but it's not even about. I don't think it's about. It's about how athletically you get around the pitch. Kobe needs to play, and this is for it to work.
I mean,
Kobe needs to play in the 10 for me personally. But then now that takes away a position of somebody. This now Rashford could probably be out because Rashford ain't doing the wing back thing. That's not happening. No. Yeah. So now Rashford's got probably two positions that he can really play in, and that's the 10, and that's the striking position, and the 9. I'm not a big fan of Rashford in the 9. I heard that they potentially play him in that position. it's either him, Bruno's another casualty that I'm worried about. I don't feel like it's guaranteed. His place is guaranteed in the squad. Are you going to move Bruno back next to Ugarte? Who's going to
worry? Why are we worried though? Why are we worried?
There's some players that like Kobe I love. Like there's a player in Kobe that I love Kobe, so I would love to see him involved. Garnacho's another player that is like, well, is he going to be the inside 10 or are they going to change him to the wing back? There's going to be casualties.
You know why? Do you know why you're thinking like this? And I get it. It's because we don't have natural fits and a sample size for these new proposed positions. That's what it is. And then there's other players, the same way you think of some casualties, you go, Rob, for Mason Mount or Ahmad, that would be perfect. Or, you know what I mean? Or for player X,
Mason Mount, you would almost argue, if Mason Mount's fit, he's actually tailor-made for this type of what we're going to do.
It's a big if, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a massive
it's Luke Shaw. It's Luke Shaw if territory. It is really.
which is not if. No. Which is not, it's when.
But then you say to yourself, like, I worry for Xerxes in this, because can he play he can't be the 9 in this, but then has he got the athletic and the intensity to play in the 10? Because he's going to be one of the 10s. Because is there going to be a quick one and a slower one that kind of just?
But you know what we're not thinking.
Do you actually worry? Do you actually worry though? When you say like you worry for Xerxes, do you actually worry? Like, because I'm like well for any of the players then you mentioned there, I don't like if they don't fit, it don't work out, then again, that's on them. I mean, things are changing at Manchester. This is when it gets back to the player sentiment thing, isn't it? Like, it was the same with Eric Ten Hag when he was here. Again, it's not Manager FC. Well, I think as a fan base, we're quite far removed from Player FC now. We kind of veered into Manager FC, didn't we, last time? And I think with those players that you mentioned, it's either adapt or it's not going to work out for you, is it? You come to Manchester United, it's got to be way more cutthroat.
That's the bit there, you just said there. That word adapt. What we're getting worried. Well, you are in this situation, just like bringing that up, right? And I get that, but actually, what we're not thinking of is the adaptation that the players could actually show. Like, you got to remember, especially the younger players, so people who are very early in their careers, this is the perfect time to have a new. Kobe's doing interviews saying, "I was a striker," and he's going at the moment. Sometimes it helps me when I receive the ball because I used to play striker, so it helps. But actually, playing centre midfield, I'm still learning that taking the ball, how I take it as a striker, isn't actually a big help for me. I still need to learn that. So when you're 20 years of age and somebody's trying to mold you into something else and show you something else, you got far more chance of succession than someone who's 32 who's done something all their life, and you go, I need you to do this. Then it's about how good the player is. Like, if someone like Bruno changes what he's been doing, in the end, you'll have to go, bloody hell, I've never seen Bruno play like this. If someone like Casemiro, someone like Rashford ends up playing left bloody wing back or left wing, because someone said to me today, it's not left wing backs flex, it's left wing and right mid. It's left midfield and right midfield, just like a bit deeper, like parallel to the other two centre mids. Look, we'll wait and see in it. But
it's different games as well. It's different games.
Exactly.
You might like Kobe might be some games when you're at home to like lower down in the league. He might be a bit further back. Some games he might be a bit further forward. That's why it's also as well. We do this a lot with transfers, don't we? When we go, if this person gets brought in, is that going to mean the end for that person? You go, no, look at the amount of games and competitions we're in. You need like 25, 30 people in your squad
that are good
and that are good and can adapt to not only different positions, but also different circumstances, different games away from home or in the Europa League, but Champions League, big Champions, like Ruben Amorim's starting 11 for a big Champions League, hopefully, away game is going to be totally different than if he's playing, bottom half of the league at home in the Premier League, isn't it? Or in the Carabao Cup. Like, again, we have to get out of that, like, we do this whole like, what's is going to be his perfect 11, and there's kind of no such thing nowadays, really.
Especially in his first season where there's no transfer window.
Yeah, exactly.
When you look at what Enzo Maresca's doing at Chelsea and how he's rotating his squad as well, there's like you can't really name their team, but there's some players. There's a few undroppables, and like I'll be honest with you, there's two players that I just hope that will survive this, and it's Kobe and Garnacho. Like I think there's a pride that you have when you're seeing a United youngster in there, and Kobe, it just hits different. The tax on that player and him coming through our youth academy is special. It makes you proud to know that we got this player that made it into the England team, and you want him to continue in this team. It's like, that's one of our own. That's a youth product from us. You know, I really want to see it. And
I think, but then if you look at Amorim's record of what he's been doing, the young players, he's got a massively good record for developing young players. And again, if you look at, like I said, if you look at young players, the perfect time for them to have someone in their career who's going to change them into something slightly different, do it while you're 20. Do it now. That's just like when you're young, just best let young kids learn languages then. Don't try and learn it when you're 30 plus. It's more difficult. Like, it's the same principle. And Ruben Amorim's a football man. Like, he's not going to come into Man United with them coaches and not understand the talent that's in Kobe Mainoo, not understand what's in Lenny Yoro, not understand what's in Garnacho, not understand what Ahmad's been doing. So I think it's not a given. You're right. It's not. Listen.
There's going to be casualties, so we have to accept
100%.
And there should
be. The only undroppables. Who's going to be the undroppables? The only undroppable is going to be Onana. Should we just say that? Really?
Well, for now, you never know. No. I mean, in terms of the future, you never know. He might not. He might.
Oh no, he might get a different. No, I mean for the rest of the season. No, I mean like now.
Season.
So he's undroppable. In the back four, you got to say
5 or 3.
I think Euro's going to become undroppable.
I think them three centre halves who we all agree will be the main 3 centre halves. I think they will be the ones.
As well. I want to say
that's what I'm saying. Them 3.
Yeah, it'll be Martinez, the lit Euro is going to be
them 3.
Martinez is like overcome his injury things though. Let's be honest. Like, that's his injury is it's an eyebrow raiser for me. I don't know if it is for you lot, but then I'm more aware of it. When he goes into tackles, I get nervous now because I'm like, oh, we can't lose you. But before there's players that I would never worry about in a tackle. I'd be like, but now anytime he goes down, or you think
it's an afterthought for sure.
It's there, and it shouldn't be there. But then that's only because of how I'm kind of putting him in a fragile pile. But then he's been lightweight at times, and he plays heavy type metal football.
Well, how many injuries since he's come back from the actual injury? Has he been injured? Apart from this way,
he had the when he came back from the foot and he hurt himself against West Ham. He did his knee.
Not that one. No, I mean so after the last big one when Kufal fell on his knee.
Yeah,
I don't think.
But that wasn't even that long, was it? That was like what, 8 weeks? I mean, that wasn't huge. I don't.
But since he's been back, I think he's been injured.
I mentioned this a few times before. I think if you look at him versus when he first came in to United and towards the end of his Ajax time there, he definitely has filled out a bit more. I think he's become more of a sort of centre-back shape, as it were. And, maybe that's by design, maybe it's not. And I just maybe to the point, like sometimes they say about players that do play on the edge, they're quite reckless. They might be more prone to injuries because they're flying into tackles or everything's, stretching last ditch. I don't know with him. But also, that's why we're still being people like Jared Brantwaite.
I've got his record here now. I've got his record here. So just at Man United, metatarsal fracture. He was out. He missed 14 games, out for 77.
Yeah, that was the first one.
The foot injury, out for 105 days, missed 26 games. The knee injury, what's that? 23, 24.
Yeah, that was the one where Kufal fell on him.
And then a calf strain.
How long was that? That weren't long, was it?
6 games he missed. 23, 24.
So that's the last 23, 24. Oh yeah, because we're 24, 25 now. Yeah.
So that
was the last. And when was that? What date was that?
That last one was 23, 24. So in the season of 23, 24, he missed 42 games in his the first season.
And to be fair, we're only 10, 11 games into the season.
But to actually on the Oxford Natural thing, like Dr. Andre was saying in that video, he had 2 big injuries that made him be out for ages. So when it's very common that when you come back from the big boy injuries, you can get the calf strain or the quad strain because you've been out of it for so long, your muscle memory and how your muscles
Neymar, wasn't it? He did his was it ACL, and then I think he came back, and then he had to come off, and he was like, "Oh, I just had really bad cramp or something like that, or pull my hamstring or something." Because, like you said, you're overcompensating, and that's why I say I do think his sort of physique has changed a little bit after those foot injuries, and it's weird, isn't it? Because in that video you did with Dr. Andre, he was kind of saying that. It kind of heals how it's going to heal, basically. And he's sort of like, and you don't know long term if you're going to be the same, you know, you might feel like you're the same, but in terms of actually the anatomy of it, you know, depending on how it's put together, with its, you know, pins or screws or wire, or whatever. And he's like, even with your feet, you don't really want to do that. Actually, you'd rather it just be bone. There's all the, I think as fans, we just kind of overlook that. Yeah, we just kind of overlook that, don't we? That we're just like, all right, when he's going to be back, and when he's back, he's going to be exactly how he was before, no problems. And it's like, don't work like that. It doesn't.
That's why Malassia's return is so interesting, because there's the surprises. While we say the casualties, there's a couple surprises, and there's ones that it's hard to like if you lot was to pick your surprise player, who's going to be the one that we didn't expect and is the guy for Amorim, who's your one? If you could say one person that's a surprise for you, that like you never saw this coming, but then all of a sudden he's a big part of it.
Is it a fullback or is it a 10? I'm just going to say Mason Mount. I'm just going to say
that's a good surprise. He's there for me as well, but he's not my main one.
I'm going to say Mason Mount.
I'm gonna go maybe Erasmus Højlund. I'm gonna go for maybe particularly in this period of time where we can't go and buy another striker till probably next summer.
You think
and maybe
rise,
get some goals this season? We go, you know, because I think that does get a bit lost, isn't it? And look, I'm not even necessarily the biggest Højlund advocate. I know he's very, very young. I envisage his ceiling as being a big club backup striker, as opposed to being like the main striker at a club. I do kind of see like a Gyökeres coming in, and then it's Højlund. But I think with Amorim, when he comes in, I think he can get some goals out of him. And he does seemingly score goals in bunches, don't he? Yeah. So hopefully that'll be the case.
Who's yours?
My surprise.
It's Anthony, isn't it?
It's Anthony.
I knew it was going to be that.
And I do only check this out.
That's fucking reckless!
Wait, that judges one's crazy. What was that? Was that from the Euros?
England? Was it England?
No. That's I think that's Arteta FA Cup final when he wins, and it's like it's a tackle, and they're showing the replay, and he goes, "It's reckless! It's reckless! It's
fucking reckless! That's fucking reckless! It's only gonna give me yellow."
Nah,
he's sitting. I think he's in like Box Park, and he's in one of those like deck chairs like you get at a beach. You know,
I need to look at that quickly. I actually know because
So anyway, let me talk about this. Let me talk about this, and I know it sounds so insane.
Yeah,
right?
It does.
But then it's like, if you're talking about the wing back play, yeah. There's one thing about this player is he does get back. You remember we call him a defensive winger, like, which is insane. Like that's what we started calling him after a while. He will get back. He will get his foot in. He will, like, the intensity and all your stuff you're kind of looking for, he will do. Is one of his biggest issue is decision making is a bit wayward. Like he'll get past the man and check back to do something with that said player. Bro, get the ball into the box as soon as you can. Like, do play. If you can play in that way, he just fits the mold. You see him being a player that can be reborn under this manager, just because of his play style might suit it more than anyone else. Is anyone else that of the wingers could be a wing back? We can't say Ahmad should be a wing back. No. Rashford definitely not. Garnacho, no. If you look at all the wingers we have,
could you ask Garnacho to be a left wing back?
I wouldn't want to, but you probably can attempt it.
But what about flipping it the other way? What about Anthony? What about Anthony playing? What about Anthony playing higher up in one of the?
Never. Then just sell him immediately, because he's just not good enough like that. He's just not good enough. Get him out of the way.
But why? But you know how important it is. Yeah, he's not.
He can do that one though. He can get back though. We've seen it. I've liked him defensively in games. You know that he's gonna give you a job and he's gonna be honest. That's for sure. Like he lacks ability, but what he lacks in ability, he makes up for in, is just all around his attitude to trying. If that, like, more than
intensity. You're just talking about the intensity.
Intensity. I don't think he's an amazing, great player, but in that wingback position, does he need to be? If my man plays centrally anyway. So sometimes he uses decoys so he can play through the middle. So I think it might. He's just one that I've like. I'm kind of hoping that does it just because it'll be what a moment.
You're hoping that works out.
I want the
KG, you just don't want to take out the intro. You just don't want to take out the intro. That's what it's getting to, man.
Not just that, but I want the players that Man United
that.
succeed. No, honestly, I do want the Man. Like when we sign a player, I actually do want them to do well. I want people won't believe it. I want Xerxes to do what? I want you to be able to say, like, all the Xerxes fans to say, hold that, see, I told you, da-da-da-da.
There's a difference. There's a difference with that. Well, the Xerxes one, he's been here for what? 3 or 4 months. It's not the best sample size right yet. People can have their doubts, fair enough. But, you know, you have to give him the time. Anthony has been here now, what, 2 years, 2 and a bit years. We've seen it. We've done it. We know. See
the best of him though. That's the thing. I think we have.
KG, his first game he scored against Arsenal. The first 3 games he played, he scored goals in all of them. That's the best of Anthony. We've seen it.
And the one against Barcelona.
That's it. We've seen the best of it. That's and again, this when it goes back to sort of the sentiment. Why are we unlocking all of these people? We don't know the combination. There aren't any padlocks on it. It's not even locked. It's been unlocked.
No one wants to steal it.
Wide open. Nothing in there. It's like that shed at the back of the gardens, falling apart. We don't store anything in there anymore.
I don't think that someone with the talent that he had and the prospect that he was in the Brazil team and stuff, and literally he's fallen off. Like he's fallen off.
Happens. It happens to people who come to United.
Bro, they said it about Pepe, bro. It just happens.
Yeah,
bro.
It happens.
Crazy.
They're doing that, bro. Is this?
Imagine getting from the spinning move and just enjoying football and having fun.
Bro,
that's all it was.
To make it.
That's all it was. KJ was just a spin.
Not just it wasn't just a spin move though. He could play like he's just doing nothing's there.
And it didn't work out. And again, when it comes back to the attachment either to the player or the transfer fee, the pride involved in it. This has to work. It's like the Ten Hag thing, isn't it? We deemed him as the guy that could not fail. That we're never doing this again.
So he must persist.
So he must persist, and eventually he can't persist anymore. And you go, it's not working, isn't it? Bro, and that's the same with Anthony. The only problem is with Anthony is we put him on such a big contract, a bit like the Casemiro one. That goes, it's really difficult to get rid of him. I think his agent's already come out and gone. He's not interested in leaving. Exactly. Of course he's not. Of course he's not interested in leaving.
I'm just sentimental as well. I'm like that. But even Rashi, like I want it to work. I really would love Rashi to kill it, and then after he's just amazing on that. I'm like that with the players. If you
I think we'd all love it, but it's about of like, actually, is it going to happen? You know what I mean? I'd love, I don't know, Father Christmas to deliver me. Just trying to think what the best present will be. Yeah, how many things are coming? Not many, basically. So, but I'd love it.
We all want things, bro. Like, and it's not a hating thing. Like you said, I do get what you're saying. Look, when anyone crosses the white line or they're in our squad, you would love for them to have a miraculous turnaround. But we have to just get real, bro. That's like me saying to you, you're done with the Luke Shaw thing, aren't you? You've said it many, many times. Yeah, but KG, like, I think he could just get fit and he could be bombing up and down that level. If I said to you, KG, see Luke Shaw? He's going to get fit, man. He's been out for ages. Just hear me out on this one, bro. Amorim's going to love him. When he plays, he's good, bro. He's going to stay fit. You're going to go flex. Let it go, bro.
Let it go. It's true.
Let it go.
Bro. You know, but Luke Shaw's, he's had it. How many years he's been here as long as when Depay was here, when Depay was a brand new player.
About 9 years.
That's one when you can say, I think it's time now. Like, it's taking me 9 years.
It takes 9 years.
It's taking me 9 years. 9 years.
Anthony's got a long way to go before he writes it off.
I love him at like nearly a decade. He goes, I think it might be time. Everyone sit down.
Look
I think
how long
it might be time.
It took me so long with Martial. It takes me longer with some of these players. It's like, all right, okay, enough.
It's time. Yeah. And that's enough.
But then it's not like, these players are just, and that's why I've got no room in the boardroom. I'm just a fan that like really loves these players, really wants to see these players achieve. But I've got no room. I'm too emotionally led to be anywhere near the decision makers at Man United.
Yeah, and this is where we have to look at ourselves, though, which is what a lot of people are saying in the comments. Like the whole like, being emotional and, this, that, and the other, which is why I was probably a little bit misunderstood on this morning's stream when they're saying, so why do you want him to? No, my thing is that the manager will, because he can't get rid of him, Rashford, straight away. The head coach, will try to get the best out of Rashford, because I still believe that this young, affluent, new head coach will say, I want to get something out of Rashford. He's going to play for me. And then I said, it'll probably be at his detriment. It'll probably be out of, bloody hell, I got that wrong. Jesus. And like Owen said, it's not in his hands anymore. He's the head coach. He's not the manager. So it's Ineos and those guys who say, right, okay, it's been a disaster class from Rashid this year. We've got to look at how we manage this. But guess what? What type of offers are you going to get for Marcus Rashford, please? Because his stocks have fallen.
Imagine Ruben Amorim goes to imagine he says about Anthony, I might give Anthony a go, and they go, no, we're getting rid of him in January. All right. Yeah. Can't do anything about
it. No, well, hey, guys, what about this, though? What if he hits the ground running? Are you not going to cash in? Yeah. Hey, would you cash in? Or would you say, what are you going to do? Would you cash in? Would you cash in?
I can't do these hypotheticals anymore. I drew that line on Monday, and I can't keep again hypothetical FC, and I just the response.
We have to right now. There's no football. We don't even know what.
I know.
Yeah. It's true. KG's got a point. Right now, all we've got is hypotheticals.
I get it.
We haven't seen this manager, this head coach before.
I get it. I get the what if. I just think the chances are low. You know what I mean? It's just
no. I'm saying no, but I'm saying even in the low chances. I'm just saying low chances, whatever. Would you, if he had a good season, would you just cash in and say, I don't want this anymore? The value's up, the market's good, sell now? Is that why that's why I'm asking the question. Would you sell if he does well? Still sell?
How good? And if? How good? How good?
All right.
We're entertaining it a little bit. The doors open.
All right.
Because I've been told I got it. You know what I mean?
25 GA.
Raw from now to the end of the season.
You wouldn't sell him if you did that, would you? Because you would be crazy to.
You're not cashing in.
But my belief in him still wouldn't change, because I'd be like, right,
try to get a
do
line
it again. I'd be like, do it again.
So you're not going to cash in. So you won't cash in. You're keeping him. You're keeping him.
He'd be either our top goal scorer or assister, and you wouldn't sell him, would you? Based on that,
he's keeping him
in this weird reality that we're now living in.
Ten Hag got a tune out of Rashford, and he's doing this for the rest of the season.
He didn't know KG, because in the totality of time that Ten Hag was there, Rashford was playing bad for a large proportion of time of Ten Hag's tenure than he was playing.
I'm talking about his first season. Didn't he get didn't we see this?
It wasn't even full season, KG. It wasn't even full season. It was
around
like
the World Cup.
It was like what, 2/3 of it, something like that.
It's a myth.
So even that thing of Ten Hag got this massive tune out of him for a bit, he did, but actually the whole time that he was there, he was worse more than he was
100%
during that time as well. And it's just like, and that's where I think it's about managing expectations, isn't it? If we entertain this idea of, I tell you what, it's with Rashford, he's going to turn it around. And then when he does it, we'll be like, he didn't turn it around. You go, well, actually, again, more fool us, because he thought that was going to happen with him. I'm hopeful with Ruben Amorim in general, because again, I think particularly the shape of United. The shape of United has been so overdue a change in just the way we play football. And I like the fact that it's not, an interim like Ralph trying to implement it or whatever, because it's a case of these players have got to buy in. And I do think Amorim will be back to the extent of, if they don't buy in, then they'll be gone. They'll get rid of them, because Ineos, to Flex's point earlier on, have lost a bit of face because of the way that the managerial situation was handled in the summer with Ten Hag. So now it's like, right, if you don't buy in to our new head coach's formation, you're out.
You can't play it. Yeah.
And we back ourselves to get rid of you as well, because we think we're good at that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Find a way. We've got people who understand it. And actually, we saw a glimpse into it. We saw a really quick glimpse into it when Amrabat was asked why he's not here, and he said, "Ask Mr. Wilcox."
Ask Mr. Wilcox. And again, people
freaked out about that.
People freaked out about that, and they were like, I can't believe that.
I remember he said that.
Yeah, do you remember he said, it's only a couple of weeks ago when we was playing Fenerbahce, he got interviewed by Daily Mail, and they said, why don't you play? He goes, well, Mr. Ten Hag wanted to keep me, but Mr. Wilcox didn't, and it was his decision.
Mr. Wilcox, and then they were like, and that's when it started the whole Ugate's one of our worst signings ever, blah blah blah. 2 weeks later, he's amazing now, and no one's going about Amrabat, all that kind of nonsense, and that's when it gets back to new players. Give him a bit of time. I mean, really, give him a bit of time. And to Flex's point, that's why it's good sometimes that it's out of the position of the manager's hands, the recruitment, because Amrabat did fine towards the end of last season, and with the FA Cup final, he was great that day. But I think at the moment, if you go, who would you rather have, Ugarte and Amrabat? You probably now lean towards Ugarte, go younger, broke a record in the Premier League in his last game for United, and you've got his previous head coach come in. You go, I'm up for that, and he's 23 or something.
Yeah,
one far more younger
Exactly. More powerful. Powerful. So it says it, KJ, isn't it? Powerful. Powerful.
New apprentice. One for younger.
Do it. Flex doesn't get it.
Flex.
Flex doesn't get it. Powerful.
Who says that? Who says it?
Darth Sidious.
Who?
Darth Sidious.
Who was also flexed?
So there's Darth Maul, there's Darth Vader, there's Darth Sidious.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
he's obviously in the
also-
Darth family, so he must be one of their brothers or
So
something.
it's in the Darth family.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in the Darth family. What do you reckon he looks like?
He's in the Darths, bro.
Yeah, he's one of the Darth.
Darth family.
Does he have the helmet? Does he have the suit on as well?
Now you got help.
So what? Only Darth Vader is the one in the blacked out thing. The suit.
He's the one with that suit on that suit.
Can he take that off and you can see who it actually is?
Yeah, but he'll die.
That bit will die, yeah.
Oh, we need it. Oh, he needs it to breathe.
Yeah. Keeps him alive.
So he goes to bed with it, everything, washes with it, everything on, never takes
Washes.
it off.
He
Does he
takes it off.
shower? In the whole of Star Wars, does he ever wash?
I think he.
Yeah, he does. He does. Remember KG in the Obi-Wan Kenobi thing? He's in his tank, isn't he?
Yeah,
That's how he heals.
Back to tank.
Back to tank, yeah.
What? So he washes in the tank, or what did he do?
Yeah,
Well, he kind of gets like, he's more machine than man, and he gets sort of taken apart and dumped in this tank to heal.
Oh. So is he
And
a
as he's
robot?
coming
Then?
out-
Is he a robot?
Cyborg. You could call him a cyborg.
You call him a cyborg, yeah. He's largely like he's got his arms and legs are all machine. He's kept alive by a machine, isn't he?
So how's he Luke
KG?
Skywalker's dad then? How did he have a child? How did that happen then?
Oh, he's
Well,
done that
exactly
before.
what happened before.
He
Yeah,
became
before.
Legion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
What happened?
Before he Obi-Wan like chopped him up.
yeah.
Like,
So Darth Vader was a normal person before. It's like RoboCop. He was like Murph before, but he got mashed up, but they made him work.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
in it?
yeah.
What's
He had
funny
a
about that?
life.
It's true.
He had
That's
a,
what you're
he had a
basically
life
saying. He had a
pre-machine.
Darth Vader being Robocop is funny to me, but it's like
No, but the principle's the same, innit? It used to be a
Principle is
normal brother,
yeah.
and then he got licks, and then
Yeah.
mash up, and then what do you
so
call
like,
it?
you're not going to survive this.
Sidious.
Guys, watch.
Darth Sidious kept him because he was younger and more
Yeah,
strong.
more powerful.
I need to start this Star Wars thing. Where do I
It's
start?
so good. I restarted again. But I should have watched the Clone because I did it in order. Yeah, so you got to start with the episodes you've seen with.
So do I? I don't need to start with the old school thing where the graphics are rubbish, like in the
start with
70s.
Darth Maul, and then you're going to go old school. You
Yeah,
can
you go. The best way to do it is to literally do the prequels chronologically. That's the best way to do it.
chronologically and watch
Yeah.
it if you can. Clone Wars is the best thing you ever.
But
seen.
now the problem is there's lots of material that surrounds lots of the films, and some of it you probably should watch, some of it you probably shouldn't. You know what I mean?
What's the one? The guy with the devil? He's got the devil horns on top of his.
Oh,
head.
that's the first one you need to watch. That's the one.
I remember that being on the McDonald's.
Phantom Menace.
There was a big.
Do you know, this is a true. I probably told it here on the channel before. Yeah, when that film came out, I must have been like 5 or 6. Yeah, my dad thought it was an excellent idea to get me a life-size Darth Maul and put it in my bedroom as like a gift.
That must have been scary.
No shit, Flex. Yeah, imagine waking up to that.
Is Darth Maul the one I'm talking about with the two
Like
horns
some
and the
horns,
red
face, with yellow eyes, right next to the bed, right next to the bed, right next to the bed. You like Star Wars, don't you?
Dathomir.
I was like, nice. Yeah, I was
Who, what?
Dathomir.
He's a son of the Witches of Dathomir.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
I don't know what the fuck you lot.
Go find me on Dathomir.
See, but I do know who that guy is. I've seen him because
Oh no,
in the Happy Meals.
right. You
There
got
was a
Darth.
yeah.
And he's got
Absolutely.
brother Flex. Yeah.
Is he Darth as well? Is he a Darth?
No.
No. Cool. Well,
By the
shout out
way,
Prince of
Palpatine
Leia.
is Darth Sidious, boy. I thought I should tell you that.
Yeah.
I've heard of that Palpatine. I remember you saying that one
Yeah.
time before.
Or as you would call him, Palpatine.
Palpatine. Yeah. Well,
Let's go, man.
shout out
Yeah.
Princess Leia and Luke
Layla.
Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and RTD2 and that.
RT.
R2D2.
There you go. Yeah.
What you call
Episode 39 of the Trinity podcast. What you call it, thingy? Go and watch. Listen. Go and see Ruben. Go and watch the video. Go and watch the first presser or the first in-house interview. Go check it out. I'll be doing an extension upon that tomorrow morning at some stage. Live. Come and join me for a live Flex's View. Get involved. I'm going to break down some of the comments he had to say and let you know how gassed I was from watching it as well. So I'm going to go watch that shortly, and I'll see you guys tomorrow as well. Subscribe to KG That Comedian. Subscribe to OWEN Wrestle News 365555555. And we are out of here, guys. Take care. Peace.